Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Smackdown review. Kofi is out. You know, so it happened on the beginning of the show, so we might as well just jump right into it. They start off the show with a contract signing. You know, Daniel Bryan, the best character in the entire company right now. How do they deal with him in the first segment? The first 20 minutes completely keep him quiet through the whole thing. They don't even let the guy talk. Apparently, you know, he's got EC3 syndrome. He's totally mute through the whole thing. They're having Kofi babbling on and on. 11 years, 11 years, 11 years. I mean, like, I am so sick and tired of hearing that 11 years argument. I'm hearing it from the Smarks. I'm hearing it from the Dirt Sheets. I'm hearing it from Kofi Kingston himself. I'm hearing it from Xavier Woods. And the most annoying thing is, after Kofi says it, then they're having Xavier Woods and Big E chime in with it already. I'm still waiting for the day when Big E is just going to turn on both these goofballs. So Vince McMahon comes out at the last second, you know, and changes the match. Kevin Owens returns. Kevin Owens has lost quite a bit of weight, but he's still fat. I mean, you know, it's funny. When most wrestlers throughout history had lost weight, you know, they would at least become muscular, or, you know, but Kevin Owens, it just looks like he's just basically eating less. You know, he just looks like he's less fat, but still being fat and out of shape. He still doesn't look like a wrestler. So Owens comes out, doesn't say a word, sits down, signs the contract. So this whole thing was pretty much about Kofi Kingston and New Day being very annoying, just constantly, you know, just singing their own praises about Kofi deserves this because he's been in the company for 11 years. And then they talk about, you know, how Kofi deserved this and all that. And can I ask a question? Why does he deserve it? What has this guy done to really deserve anything in this company? You know, at the moment, he's been in a tag team for 5 years. Why should he all of a sudden be like a main eventer? For what? For 11 years, because all of a sudden AEW comes around and now all of a sudden we got to start elevating our mid-carders. All of a sudden, you know, we got to start elevating indie darlings, and we have to start elevating, you know, guys that we wronged in the past because we're scared that they're going to leave the company. As far as I'm concerned, let anyone who wants to leave for AEW, because that shit is going to tank before you know it. I am telling you guys right now, they will start off with all their eggs in one basket. We all know how it's going to go. Anybody with half a brain already knows how AEW is going to go. But because this garbage has to come around, because Cody Rhodes has to get a big idea because he's all butthurt because he couldn't be a main eventer. That's why we're seeing all this, because Cody Rhodes is, you know, still mad. He's mad at Vince McMahon for buying out WCW. He went on record saying that. And so now he wants to get his revenge for ruining the Monday Night War. Look, we're all annoyed by that. You know, but Kofi Kingston does not deserve to have a main event match simply because AEW is looming in the background. Who gives a fuck? Just because, you know, they're going to have this failed promotion come around. And now we're subjected to this. So now it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan at Fastlane instead. I don't know what they're planning on doing. There's speculation that at WrestleMania they're going to do a triple threat match. I hope to God not. There is so much that they could do at WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan. You know, I even heard people talk about Kurt Angle. That's a good idea. You know, there's so many different possibilities that you could do with Daniel Bryan. You know, and you're just not going to do any of that. either they're gonna go ahead with Kofi Kingston versus Daniel. I don't care. That is not a main event right there. I'm sure there's going to be some people that are going to say that Daniel Bryan doesn't deserve to be in a WrestleMania main event. But even to those Daniel Bryan haters, you even have to admit that Kofi Kingston and Kevin Owens shouldn't be anywhere near that main event. You could say what you want about Bryan not deserving to be in the spot at WrestleMania 30, you know, but you just can't argue that those guys deserve to be there. Mr. 11 years and Kevin Owens just coming out of fucking nowhere, fresh off cutting a promo in a bowling alley. I mean, you know, family man Kevin Owens comes back, and I don't know, like, they're making him look like a baby face in those promos, comes back, and the fans don't even know what to do. They're cheering, they're booing at the same time, and then Byron Saxton goes on the whole tangent about how he worked for 11 years and he deserved, like, first of all, they handed him this match. He lost that Elimination Chamber, so why should he automatically get another match? What did he, like, pin him in a tag match or something? Oh boy, you know, let's just shower Kofi with, you know, a gigantic push just because. I mean, I am so sick and tired of this, like, you know, all of these wrestlers feeling that they're entitled, that they deserve their spot. You know, and it's quite obvious they're not going to have Kofi win. We all know he's not going to win. That's why it was pointless at Elimination Chamber. We all knew that he wasn't going to win. So putting him in the match, just shoehorning him in there. And it's all at the last minute, by the way. Like, all at the last minute, and then they changed their mind, and now Kevin Owens is magically a part of this whole entire operation. Like, you know, I'm all for swerves and doing things that are unpredictable, but this is just lazy at this point. Don't even try to fucking say for 1 second that this is effort, that they're trying to, you know, make surprises. Yeah, surprise. Who the fuck cares? I didn't want to see Kofi and Bryan, and I didn't want to see Kevin Owens and Bryan. He deserves better than that. A guy who's built his character, and, you know, and he doesn't really owe anything to WWE or Vince McMahon for that. I don't know, for some reason, I don't know if they're giving him a little bit more leeway, and why would they? I don't know, but yeah, Bryan is doing way better with his character than just about everyone else's. Up next, out of nowhere, the Hardy Boys just returned. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. The Hardys, they're back. Okay, I thought Matt Hardy was retiring, but apparently, I don't know, Matt was doing the V1, you know, he was doing a little bit of the broken stuff, like, I don't understand how you could have a character like Broken / Woken Matt Hardy and fuck that up. But that really is a true testament to WWE. How you could have a guy so committed to a character and, you know, willing to go the extra mile, willing to do anything to try to get over, and you fuck it up anyway. I mean, that truly takes a special group of people right there. So, you know, they're back. They put them back together. You know, they bring them back in 2017 together. Then they break them apart. Then put them back together. And, you know, it's just an endless cycle. I don't even know what, like why. Okay, so, you know, obviously they need new tag teams because they can't just keep doing the same teams over and over. But, like, when you have, like, you can at least do the Brother Nero and Woken Matt Hardy thing together, but they're not even going to do that. They're just bringing them back as plain old Hardy Boys, and Matt Hardy's having an identity crisis with all his gimmicks, like, rolled into one. That's just laziness right there. Oh, you know, let's do little, you know, homages to different Matt Hardy characters, but not have him commit to one because we're too fucking lazy to write for him. Write something for this fucking guy. Give anybody a storyline or something. And I don't want to see this. This is the storylines they're doing. Oh, you thought you were going to have a match? Well, now it's a different match. Such brilliance. You know, what's the other storyline we're getting? Oh, you know, the 2% of effort Stone Cold ripoff storyline with Becky Lynch. Yeah, great job there. So the Hardys go on to beat the Bar. Then up next we have R-Truth. Oh, they remembered he was U.S. champion. Just like they just you know, didn't we have a U.S. champ? You can see the writers' meeting right now. Who's the U.S. champ again? You know, like they haven't shown him in 3 weeks. You know, who's the U.S. Yeah, wasn't he? Was it Rusev? No. Remember, we put them in a tag team last week. They're not together anymore. Oh, yeah. Oh, they're a team. That's right. They're not. None of them are U.S. champion. It was Rusev, right? No. Did we give the title back to AJ? No. And Cena's not here. Man, who's the U.S. champion? They're saying to themselves. And then all of a sudden, R-Truth is like, you know, guys, you haven't shown me in a few weeks. Do I still work here? And oh, that's probably why he has the belt with him. Yeah, that's right. We gave him the U.S. belt, right? Wasn't that supposed to be a surprise or something? And there you go. I mean, that's the only way I could explain it. How does R-Truth disappear? And here's the thing. It's like you brought all these guys in from NXT. Why did you even need to do that when you were already trying to build back up other stars? And then you were just like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. Just forget about R-Truth. You know, we're going to move on and start putting these other guys on the show. So we have R-Truth in there. Andrade comes back. You know, no retribution on, you know, Alistair Black for beating him. Rey Mysterio's there. You know, they remembered Rey Mysterio worked there too. So they have a triple threat match for whatever reason. I don't know why all of a sudden this is like a thing, like instant title match with guys that R-Truth had nothing to do with, right? The last people that he dealt with was Rusev and Nakamura beating him up. So, you know, no receipt on that. He's not going to try to seek revenge or anything. Almost like I want to say thank God that they're not going back to that. Sometimes I'm happy when they don't have continuity because I don't even want to fucking sit there and watch that shit. So, R-Truth gets a roll-up. He gets the win. So, I was kind of surprised here. I really thought that they were going to give the belt to Rey or they were going to finally, like, give a belt to Andrade. But, you know, see, that's the funny thing. It's like, when they probably should give a title to somebody, they don't. And when they shouldn't give the title, like Finn Balor, they do it. It's like, it's always got to be ass backwards. It's always got to be something that could have helped somebody, you know. But, okay, so I like R-Truth. I do, but it's like, even with the belt, this is what I'm saying. It's done nothing for him. They just leave him off the show. Okay, so they gave him a title defense, and I would not be surprised if we don't even see him back on the show next week. Then they have Charlotte cutting a promo, and I gotta be honest here, like, not that, you know, Charlotte didn't cut a decent promo here, but I was bored. Just nothing happening, just a straight promo, nothing, no input, nothing. Like, Vince McMahon is there, but, you know, you think maybe Vince could, like, back her up or something like that. She wants to be handed the title. She says she wants Vince McMahon to hand her the title on Raw. Like McMahon is backstage. He's backstage. Why not walk out there and answer her right now? But instead, he'll just stay back there and let Charlotte keep talking about him. Like, okay, I don't know. Unless it was supposed to be that he left the building or something, but they didn't say that. Then we go back to the ring for another match. Nakamura and Rusev versus Alistair Black and Ricochet. And before the match, they have, like, Lana say to Ricochet and Alistair Black that both of them are not special. And, like, what a way to try to, like, bury new talent here. First of all, that's true about Ricochet. He don't look like much. And they have her say that Alistair Black looks like an ordinary guy. Like, I don't like that style. of like, they used to be able to bury people without actually having to, you know, like knock their character or something like that. Like, trust me, when you're just like developmental people and nobody knows who you are, it's probably not a good idea to allude to the fact that they're like nobodies. Okay? Because that's it might not be true for Alistair Black, but it's definitely true for a guy like Ricochet. And if they want to put him on the show, they probably shouldn't be pointing that out. That's all I'm saying. So Alistair and Ricochet get the win here. You know, I'm just saying, like, you brought these guys in just so you could form a tag team with them. Like, that's the best you could do with Alistair Black. Like, creative looks at Alistair Black and they see this guy, they see the tattoos, they see the look in his eyes, they see the toughness factor, and they're just like, tag team, put him in a tag team. Like that's their big idea. Like, you would think that any writer or any creative person would get excited if they saw somebody like Alistair Black. They'd be like, oh, I can't wait to write for this guy. We're going to do some great things with his character. But then they're just like, I don't know what to do with this guy. Let's just put him in a tag team until we can figure something out. And that literally, like, that's not even a joke. That probably is a real conversation that's actually had among creative. Like, it's just a lot of buying time and not really doing anything that's going to benefit these. Like, you just brought them in. And you know what the funny thing is? On this whole week, we went by and no Gargano or Tabasco sauce. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, you brought these guys in. It was super exciting. You know, it might have worked up to a certain degree because they said that the ratings on Raw were slightly higher last week. But they're not even on there. They just briefly show Gargano hugging Shawn Michaels, and that was about it. Then backstage we have AJ Styles cutting a promo, and I felt like this was just really lazy. Like, just AJ says, oh, I failed to beat Daniel Bryan. Like, he's totally left out of the picture. And then Orton walks up to him after he says, you know, this was the house that AJ Styles built. Orton says, the house that AJ Styles what? And walks away. So that's obviously going to be a match at Fastlane. It's like, what that showed me right there is we got nothing for AJ Styles. He was the WWE champion right before Daniel Bryan, but now they have nothing for this guy. They have nothing for nobody. It's WrestleMania season, and they're struggling to find out what the card is. They used to know months in advance what they were going to do. And if they had to change something, they play it by ear. Here it's just like, they're not just playing it by ear, they're just doing random shit. Like, let's take this match, let's change this. It's like they have total disregard for any build-up or any sense of telling a story. It's all random as fuck. And then we finish things up in the main event with Kevin Owens and Kofi Kingston defeating Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. So, you know, like, New Day is super upset, you know, that Kofi's not getting a shot. So what do? They make a tag team match. And somehow Kofi, even though Kevin Owens took his spot at the pay-per-view, he's just fine and dandy with teaming with Kevin Owens. Like, there's no jealousy or anything there. Kevin Owens just pins Daniel Bryan, you know, because why not? You know, let's give him some momentum heading into the match, you know. Like, that's the best that they could think to do. Instead of trying to protect Bryan up to the pay-per-view, let's just beat him right then and there. Keep him quiet through the whole contract signing. Then Owens just comes out of nowhere and fucking beats him. Great. And like, what is this thing? Like, Kofi is tagging with them right after he got screwed out of the title. Now, it might have not been Kevin Owens who made that decision, but Kevin Owens should, like, represent, like, that opportunity being taken away from him. And he's just gonna, like, tag with him like everything is okay. It's WrestleMania season, folks. It's, you know, it's all good in the hood, right? Just, you know, just how much more garbage could this be? This is not WrestleMania season. This is a fucking joke. This is a farce. Them randomly switching matches around to try to, you know, make it seem like it's a surprise, like anything could happen. You know, it used to be the old thing that JR used to say, anything could happen in the WWF, right? Well, anything could happen, and sometimes it could be really fucking bad, like this right now. So there you go, folks. There's your SmackDown review. If you liked the video, please hit a thumbs up. If you didn't, and you thought it was a total stinker, then hit a thumbs down and tell me why in the comments below. But either way, leave a comment. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. And guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.